Hello. I think I'm on the air now. Uh, I trying to think what to say before I add my sister. I see you there, Kathy. I'm about to add you. Um, hmm. I can't think of anything to say before I do that, so I'll just go ahead and add her. So hang on just a minute. There she is.
Hello.
Hello. Hang on just a minute. Let me. Okay. All
Caught
right.
me caught me opening a Band-Aid. I get these I hand wash my dishes, which I know a lot of us do. And I get these I use lotion, but apparently I not until I get hangnails and they get sore and ah it's not for wussies. So what you been doing today?
What did I do today? Uh, I didn't sleep well last night, so I was kind of groggy today. But and it was a rest day anyway, so I didn't exercise today. But Melissa picked me up. We went to Walmart and HEB, and I did some shopping, got some groceries and things. Got some medicine. Uh, and here's what happened. So I get my thyroid medicine, right? And uh, at HEB. Well, I don't like to have it just open in the basket. I'm afraid someone's going to steal my medicine. See it and just grab it. Oh, that might be some some dope or something. So
Oh, I know what you're talking about. In your shopping cart.
in the shopping cart, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm with you now.
So anyway, I shove it in my pocket, and so I'm shopping. I'm looking around, and I feel in my pocket, and it's not there. Oh shit!
Oh shit. Yeah.
I've dropped it, and I'm freaking out. And because to get something like that refilled again would take forever, and so I said, "Oh shit, I've dropped it," and someone's probably picked it up and taken off with it. And so I'm running down the aisles and trying to find it, and I hear Jay Real, please come to the pharmacy on the speaker. And I go to the pharmacy, and then the lady just smiled at me and handed it to me. She didn't say anything. She just handed it to me. So, oh God, thank you, thank you. So I guess someone found it and turned it into the pharmacy.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Yeah. See? Were you lucky and didn't know you was lucky today?
Yeah, there's good people in the world. Uh, but yeah, and then I was feeling a little better, so I went down. I walked down to their place, and I put the kayak. I think it's a kayak, the blue kayak, and I go down to the Comanche Crossing Bridge and watch the birds, the swallows,
Yeah.
and it's just swarms of them. I mean,
I know.
you've never seen anything like it. It's just, and they've got them little mud nests that they build. I guess
Yeah.
they regurgitate it and build nests all along the bridge, and they'll just come in and out of those little nests
Mhm.
and just swarm. I'm just back and forth, and chirping um, and they'll fly really low. I've had some. I haven't been hit yet, but man, they'll come, right by my face, and they're little birds about that, a little about that
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Daddy carried me down there a few times coming up when they'd roost under the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's let's go see swallows, sis. I always love say I love wildlife, so I'm like, okay, Daddy, okay. I think the last
That's
time
what
he
I'll
had me
do, and
down
of course, it's a good shade under the bridge, so I'll paddle and get under the bridge and watch the swallows and go back and forth and watch and
there.
man, swarms of them, man.
Yeah.
It's just like, I guess something you don't see when you're on up above and driving over the bridge. You don't see them, but when you're underneath the bridge,
Yeah.
man,
If you didn't know they were there, you would know it,
yeah.
honestly. You know.
Uh, but
Do you ever
swallows,
swallows, yeah. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of swallows, but that's one kind, yeah. Do you ever go all the way out to where you can see the highway?
well, now where's that at? What are we
Okay,
talking?
you know you're under Comanche Bridge, and here's the birds.
Yeah.
Instead of turning around and going back, keep going straight, and you'll see Highway 84 down there.
Oh no, I haven't done that yet. but there's sometimes I have a lot of energy and I like the paddle. It's good. It's good exercise, that paddle.
Yeah, I
So
think it is.
I may do that, but I haven't done that yet. I double back. I usually go much. I wouldn't go. I usually don't go much further than the bridge, and then I'll double back and
Oh
hit.
yeah, yeah. I was just curious. You don't got to.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's something to do. Uh,
I think you'd
but
enjoy it. Yeah. So yesterday, I told you I went to my eye specialist, and then I realized since I don't have to pay for the ride from my house to get to the doctor, but if I want to go anywhere else, I have to pay. Now they'll come back, insurance will pick me up at the doctor's office and bring me home, but I was 1 mile from a buffet at Gaddy's, which is I don't know if you know what Gaddy's is. Gaddyland is. It's basically like a Showbiz Pizza, only
But
they got.
there used to be in Waco. I don't think it's there anymore. There used to be a Mr. Gaddy's, but it was a pizza place called Mr.
Yeah, no, this has like a huge arcade in back where you can play games and cash it in at the counter back there and get you something, candy or toys or whatnot.
Yeah, okay.
But in the front part, when you go in, they got a real nice salad bar, and then they're making pizzas all day long. And they put the pizzas out, under the warmers, and they got all kinds of drinks and whatnot. And once you pay at the counter going in it, you just eat what you want to eat it, so you can go back so many times as you want to. And April and Darren, I went with them a couple of times there, or at least one time there. And they would have get-togethers for the kids' birthdays and stuff, and they'd buy game cards for the kids to go in and play all the games and stuff. But anyway, I did that because I thought, okay, I want to go to Dollar Tree. I'm not, but it cost me quite a bit from my house to get to it. There's only one Dollar Tree in this whole little college town, and I said, well, dang. So it was cheap because I was a mile away from the doctor's office to the pizza place, buffet or whatnot. But in the same next door down, there's a Dollar Tree. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna. So that way I could go to Dollar Tree, get that done. Then I took Dollar Tree home, and that's a good $15, from where I was. But I thought to myself, I'd rather be out a little money in pocket and get to do the things I want to do, right? And have a nice meal, not have to worry about cooking anything to eat once I got home. So that worked out really well. But I was at the Dollar Tree. I found a couple of horror movies. And I was going to ask you about them. So you think we got a minute or two?
Yeah, we got all the time in the world.
Okay. And then I ran into one at the thrift store I'd never heard of, and I got it. But I found at the Dollar Tree, I found Greystone Park.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah. It was put out in, was it 2014? 2011 by Secret Stone Productions LLC. Anyway, ARC Entertainment, ARC. And it says, do you believe in ghosts? In October 2009, the filmmakers broke into the abandoned psychiatric hospital known as Greystone Park.
Huh.
Infamous for its use of electroshock, and lobotomies that treat mental illness and stuff like that. But according to the urban legend, anybody, even now that goes in there, dare to enter the haunted institution would go insane. So I haven't watched it yet, but I want to find out what happens to this filming crew. A lot of special features, Sean Stone's ghost stories, the making of Greystone and anything. Sometimes I like to watch that extra, making stuff and whatnot. And then I picked up Afterlife.
I think I've heard of that. I think.
Yeah, it says Radio Times said it's a taut and snappy spine tingler. And it was psychological drama grows even more chilling as Allison Monday, played by Leslie Sharp, struggles to recover from a near fatal seance. She becomes more determined than ever to help the living dead heal from relationships torn apart by death. Okay. It also stars Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead.
Oh.
Rick. And so I think that's cool, you know. But the gifted psychic suddenly goes missing in actions. So it's pretty cool. I haven't watched it yet, but I will.
Well,
So,
we've got a hi Jay and Kathy from Electric Entertainment Podcast. So
hi y'all.
Yeah.
Hi, Electric Entertainment.
Electric Entertainment Podcast, which I'm assuming is an actual podcast.
Yeah, I want to look them up.
I want to check that out. Check you guys out. Well, I'll tell you, speaking of movies, and we'll get to the subject, and this is a subject that we can do 2 or 3 or 4 episodes of this. Talking about music.
Have you seen?
Pelts. No, I've never seen Pelts.
Now you will like this. This is the last one I want to talk about, but before you get real busy, I want to talk about it a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Meat Loaf a Day stars as Jake Feldman, a short-tempered furrier struggling to build a small-time business while being tormented by his obsession for a sexy stripper. John Saxon is a sadistic backwoods trapper. He's John Saxon, Saxon of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Kills a strange group of pet raccoons, and their pelts apparently are worth millions. But only these are no ordinary pelts. Everyone who comes in contact with the cursed furs is soon to be driven to unspeakable acts of self-mutilation and extreme violence. And so I said, Meatloaf? What? And from
in Meatloaf, the poor guy, as I remember back in the COVID days, he made a special deal about how, he, was, you should have the right to not take the vaccine and all
right.
this.
Yeah, if he didn't
And then what killed Meatloaf? That would be COVID killed Meatloaf.
Get it, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know how he died. I knew he passed.
Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was COVID that killed Meatloaf. Yeah. And he made a big deal about, not taking the vaccine and that, kind of.
It's just the government messing with you,
And protesting the vaccine and all that. And I believe, I could Google it here a little bit, but I think that's what killed poor Meatloaf was. Apparently,
it's directed by Dario Argento.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, he's a very famous Italian director.
Yeah. It said he also directed Suspiria opera.
Yeah, Suspiria.
And Jennifer with one N. Yeah. Anyway, when I saw this, I said, oh my gosh. I always look at them because this is at a thrift store. I paid $1 for this one. But I always look at them, make sure they're all scratched up or whatnot. If, they're not going to play, I'm not going to take them home even for $1.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. Just a minute. I'm actually looking it up, Meatloaf, and I'm trying to see this. Meatloaf died in Nashville, Tennessee on the evening of January 20th, 2022, at the age of 74. No official cause of death was released. He was reportedly ill with COVID-19 earlier in January, and reported by TMZ suggested that he died from COVID-19 complications.
Yeah, it'll get you.
So, yeah. And
I won't show many of them, but I got a cherry slushy in today.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Isn't that cute? I like it. But I was snacking on generic Frosted Flakes a while ago. After dinner, I was still hungry. And then I got my miniature Tony Target Frosted Flakes in. I
Oh,
could get all the time.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, your little miniature things. I
Aren't
like.
they
I like
cool?
that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are very cool. And I got a message earlier from Jake that he wasn't going to be able to join us today because he's going to his mama's house. So
Oh, cool. Well, that's good though.
he's gonna hang with his mama. So,
And they're probably gonna eat some good food.
oh yeah, and Melissa. Well, yesterday there's a bang on the door, and I well, what the hell is that? You know, and I go to the door, and it's Tim, and he gives me 2 Arby's burgers.
Roast beef.
I guess going to go work at work. He works in Waco, and he stopped by Arby's and ate. And said, I brought you something, Jay." And it was 2 Arby's burgers. I haven't had Arby's in like 30-something years. I think.
I know.
I remember going with Mom and Daddy one time to the Arby's in Waco, and it's only I think one time in my life I've ever had Arby's.
I love. We have one close to where we live down there. You know, in Austin.
So I ate one for lunch. I still got one in the fridge. And then as I was leaving their house, their trailer, and walking down the road, car pulls up behind me, and it's Melissa. She goes, "Jay, I forgot to give this to you." And she had a styrofoam box full of spaghetti for me. So,
oh, cool.
I mean, loaded down too. She loaded me down with spaghetti.
Oh, so you're going
sauce and all that. So I haven't eaten that still. That's in the fridge. So I've got food to eat.
There you go. So a couple of days you don't even have to worry about fixing nothing because you got plenty to eat.
Yeah. So one more movie reference, and then we'll get to the subject.
You want to cover? Oh, okay.
Ma'am?
You want to cover the music? Oh, the topic.
But like I say, that is a subject that we can do 2 or 3, 4 episodes of.
Well, I got plenty of music to talk about.
Yeah, I've got visual aids here. Most of the stuff I'm going to show is going to be vinyl. But
I don't.
But that's okay. But I watched Oppenheimer. And yeah. Now, I was really looking forward to Oppenheimer because it won Best Picture. You know, and was it what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. won an Oscar for it. And whoever the guy that plays Oppenheimer, I think he won Best Actor. Did he win Best Actor? I want to say he won Best Actor.
I don't know.
But anyway, it won a bunch of Oscars. And there was the whole Barbenheimer deal where Barbie and Oppenheimer were kind of competing. And you know.
Oh, okay.
They called it Barbenheimer, you know, or Barbenheimer or something like that.
I didn't know.
So I finally watched this movie, and it's good. I think anything that takes place during that era, you know, World War II and such, I think is I really love movies that take place during World War II. But a lot of this movie doesn't take place during World War II. It takes place during like the early 50s, where Oppenheimer is like put on, I don't know if it's really a trial, but he's accused of being a communist. And his security clearance is taken away and that kind of stuff. But this is the guy that basically invented the atomic bomb,
right?
Which we dropped on Japan. It's a good movie. I will say it's a really good movie, but it's 99% talk. It's talk. The whole movie is just talk. Now, there's a little midsection where they actually have the creation of the bomb and they're testing the bomb, you know, and that's really good. That's really well done. But I was surprised that this movie was just mostly talk. Just people just talking and sitting in like a boardrooms and whatever, and just talking to each other. I was surprised about that. I was expecting more action stuff happening, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of talk. It is good.
We got a lot to say, man.
And someday I'll watch it again because I was kind of disappointed as I was watching it. I'd like to give it another try and see if maybe I appreciate it more now, knowing what kind of movie it is now.
Yeah.
A lot of talk. It is really good, you know, and really interesting in getting into this guy's life, you know, and the guy that plays Oppenheimer is really good.
Is it Ben Affleck?
No, it's no one. I forget what the guy's name is.
Oh, okay.
You know, he's been in Christopher Nolan movies before. He almost picked him for I think like Batman or something, but he didn't pick him for that. But he's been in several. The director, Christopher Nolan, has been in several movies, but I forget his name. If someone's watching, maybe they can tell me who the guy that plays Oppenheimer, what his name is. He's really good. Everyone's really good, but like I say, it's a lot of talk.
Yeah.
Okay, now the subject of music. Now, music is something that helps shape who we become as human beings. You know, I mean, throughout our lives, we grow up listening to music, and the kind of music we listen to helps sort of shaped our outlook on the world, and just it really it's hard to overestimate how big of a important thing music was to our lives. Not just for entertainment, but it just kind of sort of shaped our worldview in a way. At least speaking personally,
Yeah.
music, and sort of being introduced to different types of music. Because growing up, I had said in yesterday's Timu unsacking.
Mm-hmm. I watched that. I was still at the doctor's office after 3, so yeah. I did rewatch it though.
But my formative years, whatever you call it, were the 70s and 80s. Those were where I did my growing up, 70s and 80s. And the music I listened to during the 70s and 80s, of course, it would change, and I'd listen to different styles of music. And of course, you and I grew up at Lake Mahia, and our dad ran this marina down there, had a jukebox. So there was always something going on in the jukebox, particularly on Saturday, during Saturdays, weekends. There was always, the jukebox was always going, and just the guy, whoever the guy was that would come and trade out the 45s, he would often give the 45s to us.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Larry. Larry. I can't remember his last name, but yeah, Larry. And when I turned like 13, he would tell me, "Okay, I come out here once a week," and he called it rob the machine, take the money out. Yeah. He said, "So give me a list of records you want in there, and I'll buy them." So that's how I got a lot of my records. Yeah. He would buy them, and after I gave him a new list, he'd take them out and put the new list in. He was real good about doing that. He never hesitated, because he said, "I know what the teenagers are listening to." And I said, "Yeah."
And so this was mainly for me the 70s. That the listening to the jukebox at the Lake Mahia concessions, and so that, as a kid growing up, or at least from age 0 to 9, sort of shaped what I thought was entertaining, what I thought was good, and just being introduced to all kinds of different music, David Bowie, and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and old and new stuff, and the Beatles, and just all this, and shaped my view of what I found to be entertaining in music, and just introduced me to a whole bunch of different styles of music and different artists and such. So yeah, music was a big deal growing up for me. There was always something going on, something up, on the record player. Always had something going on every day. So let's see. And anyway, here's the actor's name from Oppenheimer. Ben Davis says it's Cillian Murphy.
So, oh, thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cillian Murphy. Thank you, Ben. Thank you
very much.
And so anyway, let's start this off. And like I say, this won't be the only music show.
I could go for months on that.
Now, this first out of the gate, This was, I want to say 80, 81. And I was watching Saturday Night Live. And this is back when they had the original cast: John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman, and Garrett Morris. You know, the original cast of Saturday Night Live. And here comes Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi out in these black suits and real thin ties. And, you know, and Dan Aykroyd's got a suitcase that he's handcuffed to the suitcase. And John Belushi, you know, takes uncuffs the handcuffs, and he takes out a harmonica. Dan Aykroyd shows this harmonica. And they start this great backup band playing the music. And John Belushi starts singing Soul Man. And I was like, shit, this is good. Man, this is good. You know, just really good music. Just, you know, here's these two comedians playing these characters, the Blues Brothers. And
very, very talented.
And Garrett Morris introduced them. And everybody, here they are, the Blues Brothers, you know, and then they come out. And I was just like floored by this concept of these two comedians playing fictional musicians and doing a really good job.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent.
He played that damn harmonica. He could play the fuck out of that harmonica. I mean, just wail on that harmonica that, you know, he was really good. I mean, he was really talented at that harmonica, Dan Aykroyd, you know, and just really good music and really uplifting and very, you know, yeah. So it was Safeway in Mexia, and they had a vinyl section, vinyl records, Safeway in Mexia. And when I saw this at Safeway in the vinyl section, I said, oh, mama, I got to have this. Oh, okay, son, okay.
There you go. Blues Brothers.
Yeah, Briefcase Full of Blues.
I think I've watched that movie.
I watched the actual movie a few days ago.
Yeah, I watch it at least 4 or 5 times a year because I love the music.
Oh, God, just everything about that. Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin.
Cab Galloway.
Oh, man, that oh, man, this great music and really fun.
Aretha Franklin.
You better think about trying to
Yes, you don't mess around either.
You better think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Briefcase Full of Blues, and it's a concert. It's a live concert.
Yeah.
And it's just very well recorded. If you haven't ever heard Briefcase Full of Blues, well, find this shit and listen to it. And I'll be surprised if you don't think it's one of the best things you've ever heard.
Yeah. And if you get a chance, watch the movie if you haven't watched it.
Oh, God. Yeah. Music. The movie is just a classic, of course. But yeah, Blues Brothers, Briefcase Full of Blues. And I don't know if this is my original copy. It may be the one I got from Safeway in Maya. But oh man, as soon as I saw that on the shelf, I was, oh my God, I have it. And she bought it for me. And yeah, Briefcase Full of Blues, the Blues Brothers. And like I say, just the idea was a new concept to me. These two comedians playing musicians, playing characters.
Yeah.
But they're really good. They're actually very talented as these, you know.
Yeah.
But the backup band, Matt Guitar Murphy, and
Donald.
Yeah, all these different musicians and the horn players, and just great music, and it sort of introduced me to that style of music, blues music.
See, I was listening to Blues with Daddy. Gosh, many years. From the time I was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, blues. And I introduced Daddy to Eric Clapton. And he said, well, sis, I'll be honest, I don't really care a whole lot for the man singing, but boy, he can play that guitar.
Yeah, he came out with I remember this was when we had moved up here. Eric Clapton put out a blues album, and
Yeah.
Daddy just played that to death. It was a cassette tape, and he just
Yeah.
blew it out. I mean,
Yeah.
that blues album that Eric Clapton put out. Um, but yeah, just like I say, not only was the music great, but just to me, the concept of two comedians playing these fictional musicians, singers, the Blues Brothers. And when I heard Dan Aykroyd wailing on that harmonica, I was like, shit, man, he can play the fuck out of that thing. And yeah, just anyway, yeah. The Blues Brothers, that's what I'm starting with, the Blues Brothers. So
Yeah.
what do you got, sis?
I've got a compilation of 70s bands and songs that were some of my favorite. And I'll give you just two and then I'll hand it back to you. One of them is Journey. They came out, and these were all in the top 10 when they came out on the Billboard charts. Journey came out with Wheel in the Sky,
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
1978. And I thought that was excellent. And then another band that I got turned on to when I was in the 8th grade, actually. And this was in 1970 that I got introduced to Grand Funk Railroad. Woo! Inside Looking Out. And they had another one that was real famous, Heartbreaker, Dreammaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. I'll hand it back.
Well, good, and that's a good, really good, and particularly during the '80s, Journey was the band. One of the bands was Journey.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
And what is it?
And the other, let me interrupt you real quick, and I'll mark it off my list. The other one that Grand Funk Railroad did, that came out in 1974, that was very, very popular, and you even hear it now in some commercials. We're an American band.
American band, yeah.
Somebody.
Fans of The Sopranos will remember that infamous last episode where Tony Soprano plays on the jukebox, "Don't Stop Believing."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes, who is it? Who's the lead singer of Journey, or back then?
I don't remember.
I forget. Yeah, someone.
I can verbatim.
Ben Davis, who was the lead singer?
I can verbatim sing the entire songs, although I can't carry.
But anyway, it's at the, and it's Tony Soprano. He's at the table and he's looking. He kind of looks up at the camera, and you hear, "Don't stop," and then black.
Oh man!
Yeah, it goes totally black.
Yeah,
for like several minutes, and people were like, "What the fuck?" They thought their TV was fucking up. They thought,
really? I never watched.
Like, they're like, "Oh God, my TV's broke" or something. But that's how they ended The Sopranos, with "Don't Stop Believing" and him going, "Don't stop," and then black. And it just stays black, no sound, nothing, for just several minutes, just black. And that's an infamous last episode of any series.
Yeah, I like. I had Journey's album. I mean, there is a bunch of stuff on it that was good.
But anyway, the last episode of The Sopranos with "Don't Stop Believing," Okay. Let's see. What we'll grab here. Well, when I think of music, particularly like in the 70s and 80s, where just pretty much everything he put out was pretty much classic. And that voice, there's no one that sang like he did. And there's no one really that had the feel that he had. And that would be Tom Petty.
Oh, and the Heartbreakers.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and his solo stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is, which album? This is Hard Promises. But yeah, just a great singing voice.
I got that CD.
And great music, great musicians. The whole band was great. Heartbreakers, and yeah, I'm just thinking. Of course, I've got a CD that's just like the best of Tom Petty. It's got
Right. I got that one too.
yeah,
That was my road trip music. Well,
yeah. But
yeah,
Tom Petty. Yeah, that's great road music. Tom Petty.
it is. Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, well, just what can you say? Like I say, just almost every album he put out was a classic. Just
Yeah.
about. And there's so many songs. I ain't even going to list it many songs, but yeah, Tom Petty.
Oh no. But oh my gosh,
Yeah.
nobody could touch him. I don't think.
No.
Right around the time he came out, Rod Stewart was out, and there's a few others that he. But oh my god,
And he had some great videos back in the MTV days.
when MTV played music.
Yeah, exactly. Back when MTV, what MTV used to stand for was music television.
Television, yeah.
Now there's people that probably are watching this show that's never seen music on MTV. They didn't even know. They don't even know that MTV used to
be. And then they kind of got commercial, which is sad. And
well, yeah. Well, now there's except for maybe the MTV Music Awards every year.
Yeah, that's good. I never
no
missed
videos. There's no music on MTV. It's just all, I don't know. It's just a bunch of reality shows and shit. But anyway, Tom Petty, and there's two that pop into my mind. Don't Come Around Here No More. Which is great, and he made that with the guy from Eurythmics, Dave Stewart. It's Dave Stewart. You actually see him in the video up, and he plays you see him playing the scimitar or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But I love it. It's got this great weird sort of sound to it. Don't come around here no more. But I love that video. It's a sort of an Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And what is it? Last Dance with Mary
Jane. Yeah.
Where and oh gosh, what is her name? I forget the actress' name.
Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. Okay. Yep. He goes to a morgue and he wheels out this dead body. This girl, she's dead.
Gorgeous.
And it's Mary Jane. Of course, Mary Jane is marijuana. That's what it is.
Well, I know, but
in the video, it's a girl. It's a dead girl. And he takes her home and he's dancing with her, and she's just, her feet are just sliding on the floor because she's dead. She's a dead girl. And then he puts her in the water and then sets her adrift out in the water, her dead body. But it's such a creepy video, but it goes great.
So cool.
Yeah. So there's two videos that I think are just classics that Tom Petty did. But but yeah, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So yeah. Okay. So
I liked when Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks did "Don't Come Around Here No More." They did it as a duet.
Oh yeah. I saw that at a live concert. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was so good. Okay, Tommy James and the Shondells, 1970. I told you I'm taking you back to my high school days. They came out with two that were real popular. Dragging the Line, beep, beep, Dragging the Line. And then Crystal Blue Persuasion. Yeah. So if you want, you could dance to Dragging the Line, and then you slow dance at the dances to Crystal Blue Persuasion. Yeah. It was really good. And then I'll give you one more, and then I'm going to have to run. I'll be right back. But ZZ Top, LaGrange. Of course, they did a bunch of stuff, but that was one of my favorite ones they did.
I might be mistaken.
There's this town, a Texas town,
and it's about
on the outskirts
a whorehouse. LaGrange is about a whorehouse.
LaGrange,
and there is a Texas whorehouse that for several years, I don't know if it was legal to go to.
No, and they called it the Chicken Ranch.
Chicken Ranch, the Chicken Ranch, yeah. But that's what LaGrange is about. It's about a whorehouse in Texas. and
Got a lot of nice girls.
they got a lot of nice girls. Have mercy. Yeah, but of course, ZZ Top. You know, the Eliminator album. Uh, there's so many songs, and of course, a Texas group, um, and the drummer, whose name is Beard, but doesn't have a beard. The other two had these long beards, but the drummer named Beard didn't have a beard. So, but yeah, great music, ZZ Top, and so many great songs. Um, and you know, what is that song? I thank you. You didn't have to do it, but you did.
But you did, and
Yeah,
you did.
thank
And
you.
I thank you. Yeah.
But a lot of great music, you know. And of course, that Eliminator album was real popular in the 80s. You know,
That iconic music. That's what got me. We moved up here in
with
1980.
their hands. What was it that you know the?
Oh yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
19. Wait a minute. 1995. We moved to Austin. They have once a year Pecan Street Festival. They shut down 6th Street, which is Pecan Street actually, and every intersection there's a band set up, right? And they have headliners, and they have some high-dollar headliners outside playing on those stages. And that year, we went to it because we just moved here. We had a little teenager, you know. Went up there. ZZ Top was out there on that outdoor, one of the band's stages.
it'd be great to be able to say you saw them live. But of course, you know,
Yeah, it's
I
the
think
beat.
one of the brothers died.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I forget which one passed away. But yeah, great music.
But when you get out of the car, Jay, you park. At the time, we'd have to park under the underpass, right under I-35. And as soon as you get out of the car, you hear all this different music, but you hear their beat.
Yeah.
Once you hear their beat, you know, you're like,
ZZ Top had fun with they had a lot of fun with sexual references.
well, yeah,
So-
in the windows, yeah.
Velcro Fly, and there's a song called Pearl Necklace. Well, I'm not going to tell you what a pearl necklace
Yes.
is, but it ain't a pearl necklace.
We ain't talking jewelry. Well,
Yeah, what does he say in the song? It don't cost much, or this kind of necklace don't cost much money, or what? I don't know what he said. It don't cost anything, or whatever. Pearl necklace. Well, you know, I'm not going to tell you what
no.
that is, but pearl
Look
necklace.
it up on the internet.
She want a pearl necklace. She want
Yeah.
a pearl necklace. And then off the Eliminator album, there was 6 and 9. I got the 6. Give me your 9.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't know what 69 is, well, look that up when you look up pearl necklace.
Yeah.
So, I got the 6. Give me your 9. So they had a lot of fun with a lot of songs had like sexual references.
Yeah.
So, Tush, you know.
Yeah.
One of their best songs, Tush. Yeah. I'm just looking for some Tush.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, great choice there, Kathy.
Yeah. I know you'd like it because I know, shoot, me and you listened to me when we was running around one time in my car.
Let's see. I've got a bunch. I'm skipping around here.
Oh, yeah. Me
I tell
too.
you, this, I want to say this was actually on the jukebox and at the concession when I first heard him. And it was You Are So Beautiful.
Is it Leo Sayers?
Joe Cocker.
Joe. Okay.
Joe Cocker. And at the end of it, he does this, You Are So Beautiful to Me. And his voice cracks and it's
Yeah. But it's pretty.
all right. It's off key, you know.
Yeah.
But it's great. You know, Joe Cocker had that gravelly, growly voice. But his version of With a Little Help from My Friends,
That's really good too.
You know,
It,
I get by with a little help with my friends.
uh,
You know,
uh, and let's bring it on home. A lot of these singers might not be excellent musicians as far as their vocals and all, but they've got such a distinct sound. Well,
well,
Johnny
that's the thing
Cash,
with Joe
you know,
Cocker. You know, that, like I say, sometimes he would be kind of off key even.
oh
Uh,
yeah,
and like I say, at the end of "You Are So Beautiful," he does that to me, and just it's off key. It's his voice cracks.
if you see,
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's great. It fits his voice perfectly
Oh
and his
yeah,
style of music. There's so many songs that I could pick that I could choose but I love Joe Cocker, and I want to say that's the first thing I heard from him is "You Are So Beautiful," a ballad. But then I heard a bunch of his really rocking stuff. Like I said, I get by with a little help from my friends.
yeah.
The Beatles song. Um, he did a lot of stuff that from Randy Newman. Uh, you can leave your hat on. You know,
Oh,
they
oh.
off your, they take off your dress.
Now
Yes,
that was written, and I saw it. I watched the European equivalent to American Idol or whatever you call that. And that song, "You Can Leave Your Hat On," was written for Tom Jones, and he is one of the judges on this England version of what
well,
the
like I say,
voice.
Randy Newman. I've got an album here from Randy Newman. I love Randy Newman stuff. He did Short People, which that upset a
Yeah,
lot of the dwarfs out there. uh, but I loved his stuff. But
I think so.
he actually performs "You Can Leave Your Hat On" one of his solo albums.
Yeah,
He wrote it, Randy Newman. But Joe Cocker made it great.
yeah.
I actually don't care for Randy Newman's version of it. It's real kind of low key, sort of,
Yeah.
but Joe
Well,
Cocker,
Tom Jones can tear it a new one.
yeah, Joe, but yeah, and I heard that too, Tom Jones version, and that is
Yeah.
really good too. Yeah,
Yeah, and he
and
when
yeah,
he had Tom Jones music hour, like an Ed Sullivan show, but he had Tom Jones
yeah.
variety show. That's what it was.
Uh, but
And
anyway, Joe Cocker's
yeah,
version of that, and like I say, there's so many songs.
uh-oh, uh-oh. Jay's frozen. I'm not. Uh-oh. I don't know if we lost him, but I don't think it's my internet because I think I'm still recording. Hey y'all, let's do this. Let's talk about Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride, Rick Derringer, Rock. Oh, I lost my host. Rock and roll hoochie coo. Rockin'. He'll be back. Rock and roll hoochie coo. And then we were visiting and mentioned Eric Clapton. And how about Cocaine? That came out at 88. Rick Derringer, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, came out in 73. And I don't know when Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride, what year, but I loved it. I love it. Had to be in the 70s, I'm going to say. Um, when I first heard Steppenwolf, I knew, yep, that's one of my new bands. Come on. Look, he's trying.